Oh,
Oh, is my voice clear? Okay.
your voice is clear, but there's a little slip on my part. I have to reintroduce you because whatever I said, that has really gone off record because it was not live. So, my friends, once
Okay.
again, I would like to introduce my friend Sanjeev Gupta. He is a senior professional in the field of IT, consulting, and product development, currently working for a technology company. Sanjeev enjoy meeting new peoples and finding ways to help them have an uplifting experience. Always look forward to mentor young professionals, college graduates, and high school seniors for their career planning. He had various opportunity to work for several non-profit organizations in US and India. Sanjeev enjoy playing tennis and hiking in his free time. Uh, Mr. Abhijit Thakur, let me take the pleasure of really introducing my another guest of honor, Mr. Abhijit Thakur. He is a senior professional in fintech space working for a Fortune 100 company in Atlanta. He, along with his wife Swati and two kids, Raina and Rayan, are extremely active within the Indian community and are engaged in organizing many social and cultural events over the years. Abhijit is also the VP of one of the leading Indian organizations within Atlanta and have organized many events under this banner. On a personal front, Avjit is an avid sportsman, love to play golf and tennis competitively. So, I welcome both the friends on the forum of crime, open discussion on crime-free Bharat, and really look forward for a nice interaction, which should become kind of a motivation, kind of a encouragement to NRIs and diaspora, Indian diaspora to really make a transformational journey for our country. With these words, I will request first Mr. Sanjeev Gupta to please tell me something what you know about Crime Free Bharat, what you understand Crime Free Bharat, and how you really feel that this collaborative journey going to make a difference for the transformation of our nation.
Thank you, Batliji. Good evening and good morning to everyone. Sanjeev Gupta from Atlanta. And, first of all, I would like to congratulate Mr. Maitri Sanji for giving me, for creating this wonderful platform and thinking about making India crime free. Being in the system, you know all the loopholes and problems within the system and how to fix all the problems. So it's a very welcome step taken by you. So thank you for doing all that. Uh, as a NRI and overseas citizen of India, we all have faced, problems back in India when we were growing up, or before coming to US. Different kind of problems and crimes in our life, and that is one of the reasons actually many of NRIs and overseas citizens, they fled from India to find some safer place to live a normal and healthy life. So, and I'm sure India has moved on since then, but still there's a miles to go to make India, a crime-free and a harmonious place to live, like we do in Western world. So I'm really looking forward to understand, whatever little I understood about your journey so far as a crime-free India movement, and what what template you have created to fix all those issues. I mean, I know we had some brief discussion about it, and you sounds to have some uh, good hold on all those issues and how to go, fix all those issues. So once again, I would say, it's a very good step. And as a NRI, as a son of India, I would love to contribute whatever little way I can in this journey, because we all want to see India corruption free and corruption and crime free. So with that's what I would, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. Now I will request Mr. Abhijit Thakur to say a few words about your understanding of crime-free Bharat, and then I will, for the benefit, I will try to explain it within 2, 3, 4 minutes without taking much of the time. So, Mr. Abhijit Thakur.
Thank you, Maithili Sharanji. Thank you for initiating this platform so that people like Sanjeev, myself, who've moved over from India to the US can contribute and share our ideas about how we perceive about this overall objective that you've kind of laid out very strongly. It's a very broad term, crime-free, corruption-free Bharat. It's not something that can be taken lightly. I mean, it's a big term and it's a very broad term. What do people? I mean, I have my entire family in India who are and I have a long list of people who've been involved in either the IPS side from your side of the world, from my maternal mother's side, who've been looking into and suggesting police reforms, from a very long period. Plus, my maternal side uncles have been in the Indian Army, and I've been also trying to do a lot of social work and try to create objectives. But I think with all this bureaucracy and that's the overall system. Everyone says that the system doesn't move as rapidly as changes needs to be implemented from a overall strategic perspective. So I think that's where a lot of things get lost in from probably documenting ideas, documenting laws to getting them implemented. So that I think that's where a lot of things lie. From our perspective, from an NRI perspective, or from a person who's moved abroad, I mean, yes, I would say. I mean, the one key difference that we see from once Indians migrate from the US to from India to the US is that we notice that there is a fear of law. That is the primary difference that we see out between our two countries. There is fear of law here. You have to abide by the rules. There is a lot of civic sense which people adhere to. And of course, I mean, if there is certain format of structural laws which have been laid out, they are very ethically followed by not only the US citizens or the US people, but also Indians who move from India to the US. But the moment they get back to the India, we kind of tend to lose all those all the respect for law, and there's that because the fear is not there, I guess. The fear of law is not there so as much as people fear out here. I mean, small things. I mean, if I talk about small things like you cannot litter in the US. You've got exorbitant fines, even if there's speed limits to be maintained, or while driving. Even when there's no cops in sight, and there's ends miles and miles of roads where you don't know that there's anyone, you still adhere to that structure. So how do you get that inherent feeling of respecting law is something I think which we need to start with, and then that will all disseminate into either laws for NRIs, laws for the regular Indians, to create people fear taking bribes or corruption, or is it taxation laws, is it being fooled by dubious builders, or all these kind of things that regular NRIs face. So I think that is the sense wherein we can get a sense of purpose of fearing law. or having strict fines or strict structures in place is when a lot of things will kind of fall in place. So to begin with, I think I'll pause there and say that's my initial thoughts about how do we deal with such situations. Back to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Abhijit, for kind words. And you have very rightly said that there's a problem of fear which a system must have on the wrongdoers. I will not say on good citizens, but the wrongdoers should have some kind of fear. Unfortunately, in India, many people they have grown above law. In broad daylight, they can really dare to catch hold of the policeman by collar and may threaten कि मैं तेरी वर्दी उतरवा दूंगा. And that is a very common phrase which is being used. And now those kind of incidences are more frequent in nature. In here in Bhopal, there had been one case when few hooligans represented by a political party, they entered into a thana. They had beaten up the policeman. They took away that their personnel from the thana. And at outside, said the people were suspended. Offense was registered against their own personnel in their own thana. That kind of a negative or reverse fear, which is, the police is having on it. So police is having the consequence of the transfer. Police is not very sure who will be pleased or who will not be pleased. It is very easy to take a conference and then say you are not doing your job and you are transferred. But inside there may be some different reason, some different agenda. If we want to have the country crime-free, we have to really think differently, behave differently. And now I will brief you what the crime-free Bharat perspective is and how crime-free Bharat mission is going to achieve it. So let me explain this journey. When I was DG Railway, Madhya Pradesh, I was having an impression that passengers are facing a lot of problem, and there's nobody who is willing to help out that person who is traveling in train, where to report, how to report, and they were not being helped despite the very clear direction from railway board. Policemen were not ready to listen. Railway employees were not in position to or not helping out. And the person who is traveling with certain objective, they were, really don't know, they were helpless lot to fend for themselves. So I came out with a All India GRP Help App. So though I was a DG Railway in Madhya Pradesh, but I thought that railway crime cannot be really bound within the boundary of a state. Rather, the cases which are reported, they 80 or 90% of the cases they are to be basically they have to be transferred out.
Sorry, just to pause you. There's a lot of sorry to pause you. There's a lot of background noise coming somehow. I think we'll Sanjeev and
I think if you can put out guests, then probably the things may be. I think.
Yeah, I think mute everyone. I don't know.
The other
Any option to mute. Do you see any? Okay.
Is there any improvement?
No. Over to you. Yeah, you can continue now.
I think
it's better. I think we just need to mute everyone. Yeah.
I'm improving. Okay. Basically, that everyone has to mute for themselves. Basically, that is the way. So the control lies in your hand. I will request you that you can mute yourself. That will be the best way of really doing it. And I hereby request my friends, those who are trying to enter into the streaming in session, they can just go to the crime YouTube channel, type Crime Free Bharat, and you will get this live session over there. So even if you are not having link, you need not to really bother about it. I humbly request that instead of trying to enter into the streaming in session, you please go to the YouTube channel, just type Crime Free Bharat, and you will get this session live, and you just click and you can enjoy this conversation. You can write your comment, you can ask question, and I will really try to give the answer to you. So coming back to Crime Free Bharat. So we created that kind of the app, and then we created 4 more apps. That app for SHO and senior officers, app for responders, then app for the railway stakeholders, and then a railway passengers app also. These remaining 4 apps are yet to be integrated, and it is part of the National Police Mission. In 2019, when I got, I was posted as a DG Police Reform, then I took that lot many my friends, they were saying that Gupta sir, now it is a turn that the whole police department need to be benefited. And I took a call, and then I conceived the idea of Crime Free Bharat Mission, and a formal proposal was sent to MHA, and from MHA it reached to BPRND, and now Crime Free Bharat, its full name is Automated Integrated Investigation Support System, using 21 technologies for Crime Free Bharat, and it is capable of taking everyone along. So all stakeholders, means whole population, that is 137 crore people, they will be integrated with it. Crime Free Bharat, it is offering 5 certainties, and it is offering 5 revenue stream, and it says that it is capable of tripling per capita income of the country, and probably the GDP would grow many-fold. That kind of very powerful system is there. So now I will explain, because we said that you were talking about the system. So the system must guarantee something. System cannot behave, say, looking at the face and talking something. So system must talk in terms of the guarantee. So Crime Free Bharat is offering 5 guarantees, and guarantee number 1, you can report crime, or the cognizance of the crime will be taken without even visiting police station. So for reporting your crime, you need not to visit police station, and it is not something like writing email or things like that. A formal, legally accepted FIR will be written, will be created without visiting police station. So any FIR, it is having the 4 major attributes. Number 1, the content of crime, that is the description of crime, what has happened, or narrative of crime. Then what criminal breach has been taken place, so which law has been, or which section of the law has been violated. So that section has to be applied. Then the third attribute is to, there should be signature of complainant. So the system provides 4 kind of signature, and that is, those signature will be that a kind of a optical signature, then photo signature, then Aadhaar based digital signature, and then virtual Aadhaar based signature. Last 2 signature, they are not compulsory, because there may be a number of visitors, they may not be Indian citizen, and crime may take place with them also, and they also need to report. So having Aadhaar cannot become a compulsory feature of signature. So though there are 4 type of signature, but the first signature, that is the optical signature, that is good enough to really prove the signature, because the signature is captured with the date, time, and location stamp. It is protected with the hash value, and it is again protected by the blockchain technology. Thus, any manipulation is just out of the question. And similarly, it is capturing the photograph, and photograph is also protected with the date, time, and location stamp, protected with the hash value, and protected through blockchain technology. So any manipulation is just out of the question. Then this whole stuff is routed through the CCTMS to the desktop of concerning SHO, and he has to take a call. So if he puts his digital signature, formal FIR has been recorded, because all 4 attributes of a formal FIR or legally acceptable FIR, they have been completed. Now, SHO is having some problem. He doesn't want to register your offense. Then there comes the issue. So we say you need not to really register offense in all cases, but then you should have convincing reason to offer. So in that case, SHO has to write reason 1, 2, 3 why he feels that cognizable offense has not been made out. The moment he put the details, the system takes internally to SP. And basically, so despite the fact that more than 36 years of the service, even I will be confessing that we have not used this power in this way that has been given original power to the SP, that is the Superintendent of Police. What it says, if SHO is not entertaining your complaint, then you can really approach SP personally, or you can send the stuff through the post, and the SP can take the cognizance himself. He can choose to investigate the matter himself, or he is too senior person and he is too busy person, he cannot really investigate himself. So law says that he can nominate anybody. Now, it's a very important point. He need not to nominate the same SHO or the same deputy SP or same additional SP who is in line of hierarchy. Law gives him great power. He can nominate any of his subordinates. It means any even head constable posted or his subordinate. So even that head constable may be made an investigating officer. And once such a nomination has been made, that subordinate officer shall get all the power of SHO. So it means this person need not to go to SHO for his signature or for recording of FIR or putting challan. He himself will be having all the power of SHO. Very, very original, very, very powerful system. But as you know, in this political era, there may be pressure on SP, and he may not also be inclined to really take cognizance. So let's take a situation when SP decides not to register offense. So he has to write the reasons as it was done by SHO. When he writes reason, the system takes it back to the complainant. Hey, you reported a matter. We do not need any corroboration, not anything from anybody. Your narration, it reflects a cognizable offense. But SHO has given these reasons for not taking cognizance, and SP has given these many reasons for not taking cognizance. Now it is your turn that whether you reported the facts correctly, whether you want to pursue it further, or you want to withdraw. So if that complainant has filed a false report, and if he preferred to withdraw, then system will forewarn, hey, you will be prosecuted under section 211 and 182 for misusing my power. So there's a very explicit provision for false reporting and fabricated reporting under these 2 sections of IPC. If he says, no, whatever I reported, that is correct, and he gives some additional proofs also, additional witness also, the system will gather them, and along with this additional proof, then it will be approaching court. So Indian law says that magistrate who is having the jurisdiction under section 190 of CRPC has been given the responsibility. If the police department does not take cognizance of cognizable offence, the magistrate under power of 156(3) of the CRPC, he can give the direction to police officer to register and investigate. And when such direction has been given, then that magistrate will also get the power of supervising that investigation. So normally law is putting restriction on magistrate. A magistrate cannot interfere with investigation of the police. But when case has been registered under the direction of magistrate, magistrate get this inherent power to really see to it that case is properly investigated also. So if magistrate take cognizance, still it will become FIR. So our purpose is served. Now, if even magistrate decide not to oblige us, and we are very sure that whatever we are reporting to that is correct, then we will invoke the extraordinary power of High Court under section 482 of CRPC. That kind of the powerful support is coming. Few days back, I was saying, whatever we are trying to do, we are trying to do by entering into the system. And if the system is not willing to oblige us, then whether the crime-free Bharat still can help. So we are going to launch our conferencing system, we are going to launch our chatbot, and we are going to launch our portal and app, and which will be facilitating the dual reporting. You report to the police and send a copy to us also. And here we will be invoking now the citizens' power. So in India, citizens are very powerful. It is very unfortunate that they have been kept in dark. They are not really aware of it. One question I invariably ask, do you know, Mr. Abhijit, you are a police officer. So as per the Indian law, you are a police officer. I will explain how. The section 39 of the CRPC gives responsibility on each and every citizen. Forget about the commission of offense. In few cases, even intention to commit crime need to be reported to the police. Intention, crime has not been committed. You just come to know that this such and such individual is having intention to. So Mr. Santosh has joined. I am just taking him on board. Yeah. So
good morning. Sorry, guys.
Even intention. No issue, Mr. Santosh. Welcome to forum. I will introduce you a little later. So let me first finish off what I am trying to explain. So even intention to commit crime is need to be reported, right? Now, in a normal kind of crime, when a crime has been committed by an individual, it is the responsibility of that individual, or it is the responsibility of the police and prosecution to prove the guilt beyond reasonable doubt. I think this phrase you must have heard, proving guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Have you heard about it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard about it many times.
No innocent person should be punished. Let hundreds of the persons should.
We lost the host.
Probably joined back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that in US we call it innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Until proven guilty, yeah.
Yeah.
And here also, I mean, as Gupta ji was talking, it's similar to our citizens' arrest that happens here as well.
I think
everyone's got the power to be make a citizen's arrest.
I have not even yet come to that point. So basically, in normal offense, police and prosecution has to really prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt.
Yep.
But in this case, in the case of section 39, the whole jurisprudence, I will request you to kindly switch off your mic because some echo is coming. Please switch on only when you intend to speak. Please switch off your mic. Yeah. So, in the case of section 39, if you fail in discharging your this legation which has been cast upon you to report the intention to commit crime or to report cognizable offense which has come to your
Looks like we lost host again.
Yep.
Abhijit, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Okay.
I'm just adjusting my machine, so I'm off cam.
there was some problem at my end, so my system जो है ना basically it was locked out and then I have to re-enter. So in this section, it says that failure to comply with the legal responsibility, the burden of proving your innocence is on the citizen. That kind of a powerful system it is. So the system making use of the responsibility of a citizen, it will be approaching police and other authority, like right from 154.1 to 154.3, 156.3 and 482 on behalf of or making use of this citizen's right. And it will be forcing them to take cognizance. And the system, since it has created a lot many technical solutions, so we will be pushing investigation lead to the police. And if they fail to comply with the investigation lead given by us, we will try to bring some kind of the accountability in their behavior. So we were talking about the 5 certainty number 1, the cognizance and reporting. At the same time, if you are reporting a false case, certainty of prosecution of false reporting under section 211 and 182 of IPC. The second is the certainty of detection. So it is capable of detecting. While it is capable of detecting all offenses, it is also providing a window of relief to the policeman and police officer. They will be unburdened and de-stressed to the extent of 90%. So 90% of the workload will be taken away from the police to the technology or to the citizens. That kind of the things. And at the same time, the system is guaranteeing right to privacy. But this right to privacy is with to the third party. So his data cannot be used and would not be used by anybody, including the insiders, including the authority which has been conceived to deliver it. And if even the chairperson of that committee somewhere falters, there are so strict provision that the chairperson himself will be inside the jail for minimum 7 years. That kind of the powerful thing. And similarly, if some hacker tries to get into the system, it is protected with the firewalls, it's protected with the logs and a number of the things. And the system is having the inherent capability to identify any attempt or intrusion. And that intrusion is again legally protected because that will be a cognizable offense, that will be a non-bailable offense. The bail provision will be very difficult with the 7 years of punishment. I am very sure no intelligent person, because these are all hackers, they are all intelligent person. They will not dare to lend or be in the jail for 7 years or more. So that kind of certainty of detection is being provided. Then it is going for the certainty of conviction, and it is promising that a court trial would be possible through the distributed video trial system, and it will be highly efficient, transparent, and accountable system, which would be in position to dissolve 3.18 crore cases which are pending before the court of law. And very soon we would be in position to dispose of the cases within 3 months. That kind of the transformational system is doable and would be done if accepted by the government, because anyway this has to be accepted by the government. Then it is having the fourth certainty, the certainty of prevention. So system is capturing so much thing, so much so it is something like Chitragupta of technical Chitragupta. So though it will be maintaining the privacy with the other person, but the moment you will falter and you will cross a Lakshman Rekha and you have committed the crime, you will be punished with the not only with the certainty, but you will be prevented with the certainty. Hence, doing crime shall not be an option in future. That kind of the powerful engine that has been created and a process of being created. Then, when the system knows so much, then it is not a good strategy to really allow him to continue as a criminal. So it is offering the fifth certainty, that is the certainty of rehabilitation of criminal. So we will not allow a person to remain criminal. Hence, that is the way we will be ensuring crime-free Bharat. And it is having 5 revenue streams. So any kind of violation that will be the citizens are getting, or they will be empowered to capture it. As we have done in case of FIR, we will be doing the same treatment to evidence. So evidence is so captured, they will be having the date, time, and location. It will be protected with the hash value and protected through the blockchain technology, and will be taken to the competent authority to put their signature. So the challan will be created legally, acceptable challan will be created from inside. And system knows who is the criminal, who is the offender.
I lost him again.
Some internet instability from India. That's another big problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
5G adoption.
Yeah. I think they are going to roll out 5G by the end of this year, I guess.
Let's wait for Mr. Mathlees to join again.
But I'm glad that he is well versed in not only in policing, but he is also well versed in technology.
Absolutely, I totally
He's
agree with
using
that.
blockchain technology to make this system foolproof, which is wonderful.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my system is really time and again doing some hanky-panky. So I switch over to the hotspot now. I presume now there should not be much of the problem. So now imagine a situation that if each citizen presses one button, and if it is a say violation of smallest of the offence, now as per the new Motor Vehicle Act, there is a penalty of the 2,000 rupees. So 1,000 will go to the citizen and 1,000 will go to the government. And if all citizens they press at least one button, so a huge amount of 1,37,000 crore would be created for the government, and a similar kind of the money will be created for the citizens themselves. That kind of the money would be created, and then doing a violation would not be an option, because you cannot afford a violation. So he comes to the said by Mr. Abhijit that
Back.
Technology can be very helpful, but at the same time, it can.
No, but that's the thing. See, if all 3 of us aren't facing any technology issues, that's again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a basically it's a bandwidth issue, it's a internet issue. It's not a technology issue. It's more of an internet issue.
It's an infrastructure issue.
So yeah, I think I have explained there will be 5 revenue stream also, and because of those 5 revenue stream, it will be having the 2 kind of revenue flow directly, which is going to the person, and there will be another revenue which will be going to the government, and government then will be putting that money into the developmental project, and there will be trickle down effect. And the sum total of these 2 revenue stream, which is direct and indirect, that will be tripling per capita income. So this is a briefing from my side on crime-free Bharat, and this session is really dedicated to you. But because you people are new, so I thought, okay, let me explain what really crime-free Bharat is and how it is being.
Oh my God.
One, two, three. Hello, hello.
Yeah, you're back.
Hello, we can hear you.
I am sorry, my system is really, internet is not allowing me to really have a decent job. But anyway, we have to bear with it.
No worries, no worries.
So,
It happens to us also, even in US sometimes.
Every big work you want to do or good work you want to do, there will be hurdles.
okay.
That's true.
Now I will like to introduce my third guest of honor, Mr. Santosh. So Santosh Gupta ji is an electronic engineer from Gwalior. He worked as a scientist in Nuclear Power Corporation. Later, after his marriage with Rasmi Gupta, she is a computer science engineer from VNIT Nagpur. Santosh immigrated to US to work for financial services firm. Santosh acquired his MBA from Columbia.
All right.
This is.
So, guys, I can introduce rest of myself.
Yeah, good. I think he's back.
They are now settled in Atlanta. Santosh's father was in IAF, that is the Indian Air Force. So he got a patriotic upbringing. There is always a desire to do something good for the country of worth. Santosh and Rasmi are blessed with 2 daughters. Elder one is her second daughter, year of MD, and looking forward to be a radio oncologist. And younger one is in 11th standard, and she's inclined to be an attorney. Santosh personally loves to be associated with anything that can help India gain its rightful place in the World Forum. Santosh is also very frustrated with the system in India that encourages corruption.
Absolutely.
So, I really welcome Mr. Santosh Gupta with your all patriotic feeling for the country. To say a few words about the crime-free Bharat, what you have understood, though I explained it a little bit, but what you really understand and how much you feel encouraged.
We lost Mr. Madley again.
Oh my God, this is.
It's a good initiative, absolutely.
But definitely, it's a very good initiative, and
Yeah.
the only thing is whether government will allow to adopt this technology-based solution. It's about whether they are.
It's turn of Mr. Santosh Gupta to really. I will switch off my mic and I will request him to really go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Madley, thank you for including me in this mission. It's just a great cause, and I hope that you can carry this forward way too much, right? Um, Mera, if I switch into Hindi, like most of our people are probably broadcasting over here, understand Hindi, they are associated to Bharat, so they have to, and they probably know Hindi very much. So, what I am trying to say is, if as an NRI you want to invest in India, you get discouraged because there are way too many restrictions. There's no guarantee at all, like of my protection of my investment.
Go ahead,
I'm
Santosh.
waiting.
Yeah, you can carry on.
Yeah. So, what I was saying, Mr. Masley, when you were gone, um, the investment in India, which is kind of waiting from NRIs and a lot of these people like me, is sitting idle. Like, I want to invest in India, but I'm discouraged to invest in India. Why? What is the channel? What is the thing which is like discouraging me to come and invest in India as a small investor? I'm not talking about mega firms like Walmart's and Amazon and the other parts. People, they obviously have their muscle power to push it out, right? But people like us who cannot protect their investment, who cannot guarantee that our investment will be protected and we can redeem the investment and come back our gains, bring our gains back to our use. It's just discouraging. And how the whole uh, a system, you just use two words, transparent and efficient, right? How those two things come together to bring more investment into India and more growth to India. Just few words on my side, and again we can elaborate further more on what other things are which are just discouraging. On a positive twist, I'll continue on that. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when I used to go to India, like when we just moved here, going to India, getting out of the airport was a big challenge, right? We were like really prepared ourselves with a lot of questions and answers and all those things to get out of the airport, clearing the custom line. We never know what kind of situation may get into, right? And today, entry to India is a breeze. So it's a big improvement. I'm just very happy that travel to India has become so easy and within India and out of India. But investment going back in and out is still a big challenge. I just stop here, Mr. Matley.
No, we can't hear you, Medley ji.
Probably you are muted.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Santosh. Your concerns are well taken. Now, I will request you, even when I am out, you please continue to take your turn. And I will request you to that what problems NRIs are facing vis-a-vis in India, what kind of the opportunity they are looking for themselves, what are your strengths, and how you would like to contribute for the crime-free Bharat, which is a mission committed to change the very face and fate of the country.
Yeah, when you were gone, I was talking about the real estate investment or any investment going to India, right? And how do we protect it? So back in 2003 or something like that, I actually went in over there to invest and buy some property in India, and I was just discouraged with the amount of transaction or the kind of transactions that were happening at the time, right? Black versus white. What is this? Like, it's all my white money. I'm investing there. I want to do that. I want to redeem that gain, whatever gain. Like India got exponential gain in the real estate, and I'm like loss of not gain, like getting those returns. But at the same time, the guarantee of getting that returns back to my pocket and continue to invest in the progress of India is what we want to do it. Sir?
Yeah. So I think consumer protection laws, I mean, I think
Yeah.
that is one of the key differences which I see between India and the US. I mean, to quote an example, I mean, I had some fraudulent online transactions worth $7,000 being taken off from my SunTrust bank. I just had to quickly walk up to them, fill in a small one pager, and within the next day, it's FDIC insured. So they'd redeemed it the next day itself. I didn't have to, run around pillar to post, trying to fill out paperwork or do anything. It's so seamless. I mean, that's the
Exactly.
benefit. And similarly, same example, back in India, uh, doing a small thing like converting your physical shares into a demat format.
Exactly.
I have run a pillar to post for the last 7 to 8 years with my elderly mom, and we still are struggling to do that. We go there, no one knows the process, they take you for granted.
Yep.
So things like these, I think, require some amount of consumer protection. I think
Yep.
that's the biggest difference I see. I mean, between our countries right now. That's where I think we need to kind of work towards.
Uh, I would like to add on whatever you said, Avijit and Santosh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as an investor, like I invested my hard-earned money in India, actually, back in 2006. I think starting from 2004 onward, actually. And I had really, really bad experience when I invested in real estate. The builder, he promised whatever, like he promised so many things and number of things. And he promised that he will deliver my apartments within 2 years. And believe me, he took 6 years to complete that project. And he took like, complete like 100% because I took loan in India and I was paying like very high interest rate in India.
Mm-hmm.
So not only that, and once that flat is ready, this guy is, asking me to pay additional 20 lakh rupees per flat again, because he said like, there's a carpet area which is more than whatever he promised. And I said, I never asked for it,
Hmm.
That's not actually, I don't know what calculations he made. And he said, if you want to take possession, you have to pay 20 lakh rupees extra. And
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. They complicate, these builders
yeah,
complicate matters so much. Carpet area, common area,
common
play
area,
area.
exactly.
They like clubbing in all the square footage and I don't know
Yeah,
what in your overall price, and then
exactly. And,
we're
and,
kind
and
of
And believe me, I had no means, no way actually to deal with this guy. I made n number of trips to India to deal with this, and he was a politician. But
Mm-hmm.
he was running for election and whatnot. And sometimes I used to feel like whether I'm safe when I'm going to his office because, some people will come and they will say,
Mm-hmm.
want to take possession, these are the conditions, and you have to pay 20 lakh rupees. Otherwise, just forget about it. And so, it was very frustrating experience. And after that, I never invested except in my family business. I never invested in any real estate. So I think by using the technology which Maithili Saranji, described, and I had similar idea actually back in 2008, 2009, because I was having a company with my college friends. So we were working for the Punjab Police to develop some software, to make them automated. So unfortunately, at that time, blockchain technology was not that popular, and not very many people actually knew about that technology. So we developed some solution for Punjab Police on the same
Mm-hmm.
line, except the thing like, you don't have the digital print, and anybody can alter that data.
Mm-hmm.
But it helped Punjab Police a lot. But unfortunately, because adoption is the problem, because nobody want that technology will monitor their activities. So these policemen, they will not carry their cell phone because it was like mobile-based technology. Because most of the policemen, they used to like, their main duty is basically beat. Like they are assigned particular area and they have to go and beat there. So what they do generally, they will go either to their home and take rest, go to some dhaba or pan shop, and they will just enjoy those areas rather than going to their area. So by using this mobile-based technology, you can see which policeman is actually, whether he is actually in the assigned area or not, whether he's actually doing his duty or not. So you can monitor everything on your dashboard within your police station. And also,
that's the thing, Sanjeev. One small example, just to pause you there. I was reading somewhere that the entire budget of New York police is about $26 billion annually.
Yeah.
$26 billion for 1 year, and that's the amount of money that goes into the police force to create it like a mechanized force with all the data surveillance that they do, with all the the way they function in their own their cop cars. It's like a fully mechanized vehicle. You have one cop controlling a crowd of 100 people, whereas in India you have 50 people, 50 cops not even being able to manage 50 people. That's the difference. So, I mean, it's all about, I think, empowerment. You need to have those right amount of budgets. I mean, before 2008, 2009, and that Mumbai attack as well, the surveillance and everything in even with Bombay police, which was considered to be the world's most elitist police, was abysmal. And after, I mean, they've now come up with some reforms, which now you can see visibly out there. But you had to wait for a shock for things to change. And that's where I think, I mean, budgets. I think allocation of budgets is a key. You have to empower the police so that they have proper administrative buildings. Their cops, their local thonas in India. I mean, they're in shambles right now. Yeah, that should not be. Once you enter a government building, you should feel, taken aback that all right, you're entering a place of some amount of where law and order is being maintained, whereas. So small, I think, state changes. Technology.
You're absolutely right, Abhijit. And what is need for need of the hour? We, instead of taking incremental changes, we need radical changes in our police system, and it starts with police reforms, which all parties, they keep talking about it, but nobody actually do anything about it. And that needs political will, because obviously they will lose the control on police, which is a tool to fix people and oppositions. So I think police reform is very important, and not just police reform. They need to make police mechanized. In US or any other Western world, you cannot expect results from a policeman who is only carrying a danda. That was like that kind of police was created by Britishers, to handle the crowd at that time. But you need to use technology. You need to enable that policeman so that he can use technology efficiently. To make India crime-free, because crime now, same crimes we don't see anymore because means have changed. All these criminals, they have become more technology savvy, and they are coming up with different ideas. So to deal with this kind of new threats from not just regular criminal, even cyber criminals, and there are so many, tech-savvy criminals, nowadays. We need to enable our police with technology, and also we need much needed police reform, so that police also, like, they are also human beings, so they think twice or thrice before actually taking any action. They wait for their bosses actually whether it's okay to do something, whenever any crime happens, rather than taking action immediately by his own. So there are so many challenges. It starts with police reforms, and as Maithili ji rightly said, and I'm glad that being a policeman, actually being in the system, he also is very well versed and thinking and also adopting blockchain technology to build this kind of system. So yeah, I mean, I'm very glad actually somebody is taking some steps to to make it country.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
So very first thing we have to resolve is this infrastructure challenges also.
Right. Yes.
So we can talk about big technology improvement, but small things, the
need to
root
be
cause
fixed.
of all this. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Got to start somewhere. Yeah.
yeah. Mr. Maithili, your camera is now focusing on the fan. I know we are all big fan of yours.
Basically, I have changed my system because my
Good.
iPad, it was time and again was not really obeying the way I wanted it to. So
Absolutely.
then I switched over, and now I am with my iPhone. So I hope now it will be cooperating.
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay, great. So really, it is nice to hear your concern, and you rightly said that the system-oriented problem, the people, some people they are behaving, they are above law, and law really feel handicapped while approaching such people, and the people, those who are really influential people, those who are in power, they want to really maintain that this kind of system. They
Yep.
do not want transparent and efficient police. They want their own police. And I think it is not very difficult to gaze and understand what is the definition of own police. I hope you agree with that.
Yes. Definitely.
So now it is question whether we are destined to live like this. जैसा कि majority of NRIs they say कि भारत में कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. Probably we have to live like this. So I am saying to say with the 36 year of the police experience, I am working with the 54 universities. I am having MOU with them. More than 1,000 students they are working under as an intern and on various projects. And we are developing our own technology. We are developing our own gadgets. And we dare to say our own strength, we will be in position to make this country crime free. There could be two ways to operate. One way, if it is operating from within, that requires the blessing of Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Home Minister, failing which we have taken a decision. I think within a week or so, we would be launching our portals and app, etc. And we will be facilitating the people to report, and we will be taking their report as our citizens' responsibility under Section 39. And it would not be possible for SHO or for SP or for the police department, and I will say even for the government, to ignore whatever is being communicated to them by CFB in the capacity of the citizen of India. Since complainant will be talking to us, so we will make use of that road, and we will work on in even capturing evidence. So we will not only provide the content of FIR, we will not only struggle to get the FIR registered, but we will provide the evidences also. And then we will fight out in court also. But you will say that a system which is in conflict with the government, which is the conflict with the governing system, it requires a lot of, or there is a wastage of time and energy. I think Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Home Minister, they are the person of the determination. They have taken a number of the bold decision. Now a time has come and crime-free Bharat should be a part of their bold decision, and we with them would be transforming the face and fate of our nation. In our initiative, they need not to really invest money. They generally only need to have enact few laws, issue certain notification. The draft we have already submitted to them through the VP R&D. Now it is their turn to take a call on that and basically enact one law, that is the National Authority for Scientific and Technical Assistance in Investigation and Detection of Crime. My friend, I don't know to what extent you are sensitive that policing in India is a state subject, right?
Right.
And that is being projected as one of the handicap. But there's enough in Indian Constitution, because in list 1, entry 65C, there's a provision that Government of India, being it's a responsibility of Government of India under entry 65C of list 1 of Schedule 7 of the Constitution, to create agencies and formation for scientific and technical assistance in investigation and detection of crime. And if crime-free Bharat mission, it is nothing but the sum total of the scientific and technical assistance in investigation and detection of crime, and even taking it to the prosecution, and then taking it to the further level of the prevention, and then taking it to the higher level of the rehabilitation of criminals. So it is well within the constitutional responsibility of the Government of India under entry 65C. We have already created a national-wide structure. It is having 4 committees: technical committee, executive committee, legal committee, and media and publicity committee in all states. Very recently, we have opened up for the global forum, and now we are creating NRI's chapters. And you are the part of US NRI group, Crime Free Bharat NRI USA group. You people have already achieved a lot in your life, and I am very sure you can really do a lot of things for your nation. What you can give to your nation? You are already working in the field of technology. As per my vision, that technology expertise can also flow over here, and it has to be flow inconsistent with the crime-free Bharat vision. Few of the resources can be hired from your side, and they can work for the crime-free Bharat. And you people can be then taken into the technical committee and technical group, and then you can guide our interns and students of the various universities, those who are working on the various projects, which are the nut and bolts of crime-free Bharat. And that's the way we are trying to create Chitragupta. So, as per mythology, I hope you people understand Chitragupta.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So that now that there's a turn to have the technological Chitragupta, and the Chitragupta jo hai, he take care of your privacy also. So Chitragupta jo hai na never tells about your deed to your neighbors. So when we die, all our accounts, include your video clips, they are shown to us only, and then it is decided whether we have done something good or bad, and that kind of the things are done, right?
Yes.
So we will be creating the technological Chitragupta, and the advantage would be that you need not to really wait for death. So the person can be basically undergo whatever wrong they have done. If they have committed some crime, the person will be taken to the task with the certainty, and as you rightly said, that system will be creating that fear. So the technological Chitragupta would be creating that fear. At the same time, it will be guaranteeing the right to privacy to citizen. So now I would like to listen from you how exactly you would like to really contribute to crime-free Bharat mission. And I will request one by one, you can please take a turn, because if I am out, still you please continue with your narration.
Sure. Sure. Can I go first? Just I
Yeah,
would like
please.
I would like to say one thing. 90s, 97, 98, when Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji came over here, he said one thing. यशोदा के लल्ला का देवकी के लिए भी कुछ फर्ज बनता है. तो इट्स लाइक कर्म भूमि के लिए आप कर रहे हैं, कुछ जन्मभूमि के लिए भी करिए. So I was looking forward to this thing, and this kind of mission, uh, that I can contribute somehow in a creative way to India. And being in the technical field for long, not only from the engineering point of view, but from overall orchestrating these things, I can contribute wherever I'll be very, very happy. And kudos to you, Mr. Mathli, creating the term Chaturgupt. It is rightly said. We need to create electronic Chaturgupt now to give accountability, to hold everybody accountable for their own actions. Go ahead, Mr. Sanjeev or Abhijit.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Either way. So very nicely said, Santosh ji. Similar to what you mentioned, जनरल परसेप्शन हम लोग का सभी का है कि जब हम इंडिया छोड़ के अमेरिका आ जाते हैं तो हम लोग कुछ ज़्यादा पेट्रियोटिक हो जाते हैं. सारा पेट्रियोटिज्म हम लोग का जो इंडिया में नहीं रहता है वो यूएस आने बाहर देश छोड़ने के बाद हम लोग का सब जाग जाता है. तो सिमिलर आइडियाज हम लोग यहाँ बहुत साल से हैं. वी ऑल वांट टू कंट्रीब्यूट, want to be engaged in some of these good initiatives which take place. सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम हम लोग की ये रहती है कि कौन एग्जीक्यूट करेगा, कौन एंटिटी है जो गाइड करेंगे, जो लीड करेंगे, वो ट्रस्टवर्दी है, जो जिनका विजन ठीक दिशा में जा रहा है, और हम लोग उनके साथ जुड़े. सब यहाँ बहुत सारी कम्युनिटीज हैं इंडिया यूएस में जो अलग अलग छोटे छोटे पॉकेट्स में काम करती हैं. हम लोग काफी, संजीव, संतोष, मैं, हम लोग सब छोटे छोटे पॉकेट्स में हर जगह जुड़े हैं, कुछ ना कुछ करना चाह रहे हैं. पर एक कॉन्क्रीट मूवमेंट जो है, जैसे आपका विजन है, जो जैसे आपने एक्सप्लेन किया, वर्क फ्लो, इट्स लाइक अ वर्क फ्लो सिस्टम. पूरा एक वर्क फ्लो बन रहा है फ्रॉम स्टार्ट टू एंड. पूरा डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट ट्रैक करना, उसको अडॉप्ट करना एंड देन एग्जीक्यूट करना. So mission is great. हम लोग जुड़ने के लिए तैयार हैं. Either awareness बढ़ाना, technical support देना, mentoring करना youngsters की, जो आप जैसे बताया 36 universities में आपका MOU है, उनको guide करना, उनको कैसे सबको जोड़ के create a mission to move forward. So more than happy, sir. Thanks for getting us involved, and kudos to you, as Santosh ji also said, kudos to you for starting this and moving forward with this. Wishing you the best.
Thank you very much, Abhijit. May I request you to switch off your mic so that this echo could be taken care of, and you can switch on your mic as in when you want to really speak. Probably that way we can have a little eco-free communication. Eco-free session would be doable. Let me really give some concrete suggestion and my concrete expectation so that your strength could become our strength. I understand that you are having a lot of determination, lot of wish, lot of desire to really contribute. And as I very rightly said that कि कर्म भूमि के लिए तो बहुत कुछ आप लोग कर रहे हैं, अब अपनी जन्म भूमि के लिए भी कुछ करने का समय आ गया है. और यदि हम जन्मभूमि का फेस और फेट बदल सकते हैं तो फिर इससे अच्छा और कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता है. So I will really jot down what really I am expecting from you. Basically, first of all, we want to create a global support system for crime-free Bharat. That is the first thing. And for that, we have already created organizational structure in India. And now we are in process of really covering each and every country. So the first expectation from you that you must be having n number of the group of Indian diaspora, NRIs. Please talk to them, explain the concept, and whosoever you feel they are having the similar kind of the mentality and they would like to really join for this great cause, make them the partner, make them the include in your WhatsApp group. I have made all of you admin. So the purpose behind making you admin is so that you can add your friends. I will request you do it only after discussing with them. You can supply them a crime-free Bharat vision document, that is a outline, and there's a very written document which has been submitted to the government of India. Even that could be shared, but I feel for the normal purpose, even that outline is good enough. Which take care of it, that how we would be in position to take it and make it a basically mass movement. How we can now make it a global movement. So first, you are creating awareness.
Mhm.
Let the everyone who is from the Indian origin or why from Indian origin, they are the good American citizens, they are good citizens who would like that India to really play a pivotal role. And even they would be more than willing to come forward along with Indian diaspora. So even we should not really reluctant in taking them also on board if they are really genuinely interested in this to happen. India is having lot many Vedic advantage. India is the only country where the God has come personally 10 times. In all other places, in all other countries, God has only favored by sending his messengers, but not God himself. But in India, God has come 10 times personally. Similarly, the India is the only country which is having plethora of Sanjeevani, plethora of herbal medicine, plethora of things. So let's not talk. Let's really. And India is having the biggest challenges. Any technology which is designed in America or Europe, the moment it lands in India, it is going to fail because the complexity which we are having, the kind of the crowd we are having, the kind of the mentally we are having, kind of the mixing we are having, that is not available in any other part of the world. So now the grounds for the R&D should be shifted not to from the Europe or from America to India. If we will be creating things, including technology, including software, making use of the Indian data set, I promise that technology will not fail in any part of the globe. So I would like that let your technological wisdom should come over here. The person, those who are willing and they can really hire some resource person from India and on your payroll. That will also, that can also be a kind of a support for crime-free Bharat. At this stage, it's enough. And basically, crime-free Bharat is having 16 Bharat under it. So it says green, herbal, chemical-free, healthy Bharat. It says milk-rich Bharat. And when we talk of the milk-rich Bharat, it is not just milk. It is the Gai Mata. And you must have seen that mythological calendar where that all god and goddesses, they are part of the cow body. Have you seen that cylinder, that calendar?
I think I have seen somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you know, Sanjeev, where goddess Lakshmi is sitting?
Goddess Lakshmi.
Yeah. भाई
Uh,
ये पूरा पूरा तो कमाल उन्हीं का है, माया तो उन्हीं की, लक्ष्मी
right,
जी की
right.
है. तो we must know where is Lakshmi जी.
उल्लू के ऊपर.
नहीं
नहीं,
नहीं, वो तो उल्लू तो उल्लू तो दूसरी चीज हो गई, वो तो वाहन हो गया.
Okay.
से गाय के किस अंग में जो है
अच्छा.
लक्ष्मी जी विराजित है, ये
I
मैं
think
जानना चाहता हूँ.
I think गाय के जो ब्रेस्ट है था, उसमें ऐसा है because दूध वहीं से निकलता है.
Kamdhenu?
संतोष, would you like to take a chance?
No, I've not seen it, so maybe
Abhijit, would you like to take a chance?
Nahi, I don't know. Nahi.
Basically, Lakshmi ji was having little ego. When everybody was approaching Gaya Mata for a place, Lakshmi ji thought ki, why I should go? I am Lakshmi. I am not supposed to go to anybody. But of late she realized that she is the only left out. So she approached गाय माता कि साहब मुझे भी कोई जगह दे दीजिए आप. तो उन्होंने कहा माँ मेरे पास तो जो जगह थी सब भर गई है, आपको जो जगह समझ में आए वहां आप विराजित हो जाइए. So there was no other place other than the cow dung. So mythologically Lakshmi is residing in cow dung. Let me tell you this mythology is a great message. Let's not miss out on that.
Absolutely.
गाय का मिल्क, गाय का घी, चाहे वो जो है ना देसी गाय का अल्फा 2 वैरायटी का ही क्यों ना हो, गोबर उससे ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है क्योंकि वहां पे लक्ष्मी जी विराजित है. So we will create a milk rich country which will be harnessing on the cow dung because Lakshmi ji there, and cow dung with using the microbes, we will be converting that into the organic factory. So the cost of agriculture production will be it will come down. So and that cow, if you go, I go and I give that roti to every day to Gaya Mata. And do you know where I find the Gaya Mata in India?
On road?
घूरे पे. आप यदि गाय को यदि आप इंडिया में आज खोजना चाहते हैं तो वो किसी अच्छी जगह पे नहीं मिलती है, वो घूरे पे मिलती है. तो हमने गाय माता को, जिसको हम माता कहते हैं, हमने तो उसको वहां जाके खड़ा कर दिया है. सो ये टाइम हैज कम कि वो गाय माता के साथ जो है ना वो रिलेशनशिप होना चाहिए जो भगवान कृष्ण का गाय के साथ था. क्या हम उस गाय माता को मंत्रों को सुना सकते हैं? क्या हम उस गाय माता को जो है हवन की जो है ना सुगंध से जो है वो कर सकते हैं? क्या हम उस गाय माता को हर्बल मेडिसिन जो है ना का भोजन दे सकते हैं जिससे उसके गाय में ना केवल अल्फा 2 वैरायटी हो, ना केवल प्रोटीन और न्यूट्रिशन हो, बल्कि उसमें औषधियों का गुण भी हो. Similarly, we are talking of the honey rich India. So honey and honey को कहाँ होना चाहिए? So we will have n number of type of honey. Honey for this kind of the medicinal herbs. So when the bees would be extracting honey from a particular herbal medicinal plant, I am very sure the honey would be having those medicinal value also. After due experimentation, then we will have honey for BP, we will have honey for this, honey for that. India is bestowed with the Sanjeevani, it is bestowed with n number of the unique Jadi Booty, and the Jadi Booty in a particular weather condition would be having the real medicinal effect. So the present way of doing it, that you take out the things and you are spreading on the whole country, let's not do that. The things which are the origin, which are for the particular weather condition, let it be grown in plenty there, and less it should be sold in local market, national market, and international market, not at a competitive price, but at a niche price that may be the 10 times of the market price. My friend, it's doable. Now you think of the kesar of Kashmir. You can charge any value you want, but you have to maintain that its origin, its quality, nothing should be compromised. So crime-free Bharat is going to come out with n number of startups. Startups for the forensics, startups for the organic manure, startup for seeds, startup for everything. And the startup would be catering not only to the various sector of economy, they will be that startup which will be helping the police in investigation. So tomorrow, the forensic or field vans or field vehicle, they will not be owned by the police department. They will be owned by the startup. The crime-free Bharat will be providing them the requisition, will be providing them the right kind of the fixtures and features, and it would be in position to give the quality support to the police on the spot. So these startup, they will be only the support system. Data will be flowing to the National Authority for the Scientific and Technical Assistance, which will be guaranteeing the right to privacy. Similarly, the photography. So there will be the drone photography, there will be the robotic photography, there will be this photography, infrared supported photography, UV supported photography. It will capture and will try to read everything. It will be having the mannequins so that clothes, if they are having any spots or if there's a something which is basically exchange of the micro particles as per the Locardo principle, then probably we will be using the 5 principles of the forensic science, and we would be in position to create a big army of the experts, which will be connected through the app. Their devices will be connected through the IoT devices, and the information will be flowing on the real-time basis, and it will be logged with the date, time, and location. It will be creating the chain of custody certificate. It will be creating integrity certificates and admissibility certificate under 65B of Indian Evidence Act. So it will be having n number of infallible evidences. We would be in position to detect the offenses which are not even reported or registered by the police. That kind of the capacity, that kind of the capability we have already created, that kind of the vision statement we have already created. So we are talking of accident-free Bharat. We are talking of job and services-rich Bharat. We are talking of innovative and creative Bharat. We are talking of narcotic and drug जो है free Bharat. We are talking of Nari Samman Yukt Bharat. So basically there are the 16 Bharat. I will share the document with you. That kind of the Bharat you will create, and which will be having hundreds and thousands of startups. And our NRIs and other Indians will be having opportunity to really invest in those startups. And since those startups would be running at very efficiently, and there will be low cost input, and there will be high profit margins. So these startups would be a good avenue to really make investment. And when the country will be promising crime-free Bharat, and the doing crime would not be an option, so your investment will also be relatively safe. It will be safe. Now a time has come that making it happen, everybody, like-minded people across the globe must join hand and should work to make it happen. My sincere prayer to my NRI friends, to Indian diaspora, to really come forward, have many conferences. We can have a number of open discussion. You can arrange open discussion at your in your own way, under your own manner, and I will join you as a guest. And I am ready to give the keynote address over there. I am ready to give you that platform. I am ready to give you the opportunity. We intend to, we have created n number of specialized support system for crime-free Bharat. So there are n number of the CS, those who are working. There are n number of the forensic experts, those who are working. There are n number of the agro scientists, they are working. So basically, we will be covering the whole gamut of economy. And we would be using the engine of the startup, because convincing the present people, it will require a lot of energy. So say, even if you go in Vedic period, they used to impart knowledge to the few people, and then that knowledge through them, it used to be institutionalized through the religious and other coding, and then it used to be spread to the rest of the people. So instead of creating a general awareness, we intend to create a startup with the realistic value, realistic knowledge base, repository of all kind of the software, hardware, gadgets, processes, and they will be having a lot of moral values. So how they approach, whether they are knocking the door or not, how politely they are interacting, how they are not only providing the quality services, but the quality services will be provided with the great humility, because their payment will be multiplied with by a factor, and the factor would be based on about the mannerism, the way the things have been explained, the way the services has been given. So not only the efficiency and efficacy of the service, but the way that service has been delivered, that will also be captured by our system, and the startup would be getting payment in that multiplication only. So obviously, there will be a game changer when we will be having more human value in really making these services available to the common populace. I am of the view the model is so robust, it can very well implemented and will be adopted by the other countries. And anything which can work in the Indian scenario, that can certainly work in the international scenario as well. So let's create the systems. Let's create those systems under the CFB. We are very aggressively pursuing that we should get opportunity to explain the things to Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, so that we can approach and implement things from inside, because we want to really influence the governance itself. And influencing governance from outside would be very, very difficult, but we can very easily influence the governance from inside. And especially when our system, we are designing our own technology, our own gadgets, our own procedures, and that is in-house development. Hence, we are not dependent on any external companies. So there will be no cost to the government. So the government is supposed to come out with the enactment, because that can be done by the government only. They have to come out with the notification. They have to come out with a notification for the revenue sharing. So the law already provides for reporting of the cognizable offense. Law provides for your contribution in evidence also. We will provide the technology to capture directly. And as you know, the Indian police is a inferior police system, because anything which is captured by the police, it can only be used for the contradiction, but not for corroboration. Even the confession made to the police officer is not admissible in court of law. Under Section 25 of Evidence Act, there's a little window in Section 27 which says discovery to the new facts. Only that component, that part, and that portion of the confession will be admissible. So you say, I have done a murder with a knife, and I have kept knife, or I have hidden a knife at a particular place, and then he goes and gives that knife to you. Then that knife was hidden there. Only this piece will be admissible in court of law. So by integrating public directly, everything would be admissible. So we would be creating much more legally admissible evidences. A time has come when let's transform everything. Offense should be registered without visiting to the Thana. All offenses should be detected. Even the offenses which are not reported or registered, they should also be detected. Let there be conviction, and that 3.18 crore cases which are pending before the judiciary, let it be resolved in a period of 1 or 2 years. And within 3 months, we should be in position to ensure the disposal of the cases. If required, we can go for the out-of-box thinking. Minor offenses can be given to any normal person with a little training of 15 days. He can be given that power of court. N number of the courts could be handled in a very transparent way, and that is the way we would be in position to dispose of all pending cases. People say that justice delays is justice denied. We will not allow that to happen. So in the light of my strength, I would like each one of you to really, please, now you convey your determination, what you would be doing in the pursuance of my appeal. Thank you.
Thank you, Maithili ji. Very, very good cause, I must say. And you have created very good platform with a lot of vision and forward thinking, and use of technology to actually combat this problem in India. And biggest difference you can see between India and America or any developed countries, you will see that difference in the policing system, because here in Western world they use technology. They may not have those many policemen on the road, but they are using technology. That's how people fear, because if they will commit any crime, they will be caught eventually. So using technology, that too, like blockchain technology, for building this kind of system is definitely in need of the hour. And we all are willing to do something for our motherland. They say, like, you can you can go away from India, but you cannot leave India from your heart. So all NRIs and Indian diaspora, I think they love India more than actually people living in India. That's what I can promise. And people like to contribute, but they don't know how to contribute and how to, uh, you know, how to go about it. So if we have something which is promising, uh, we can make India crime free. And I can see that if we will use the right technology and systems, because America is America, because America built all these systems over the time. So, in India, we don't hear about building systems. We just uh, use like age old rules, regulations, which doesn't make any sense in 21st century. And systems is something like which evolves over the time, and it changes with the need of, current situation. So, so I would say it's a very good step, and I would love to be part of this initiative and help whatever way I can, whether it is technological support, mentoring, and activism, and even helping financially, whatever way. I will be honored to be part of this kind of initiative.
Yeah, Mr. Avjit, now it is your turn to add value to it.
No, absolutely. I think, I mean, one interesting thing while I was thinking while you were talking, I also come from a rural background. I mean, my family is in Jabalpur and Satna, from the same areas where we see a lot of farmlands and a lot of farming and agriculture happens. So the way you describe the overall vision, linking your crime-free Bharat mission along with a lot of things in the organic space, the way you spoke about the uses of cow dung, alternative medicines, um, creating an entire ecosystem basically, which rises off from all your your farm produce or your farm waste or your organic stuff from there, and include that as an ecosystem, from building things from a startup ecosystem, and then disseminating it all to various aspects of the overall mission. So I think, yeah, that seems something which seems exciting to me, to be very honest. All of us keep thinking about ways of doing some sort of organic work, because we've noticed these kind of uh, things, these medicinal qualities in our Ayurveda, in our homeopathy, in our naturopathy systems, which the entire world is unaware of. And being in the US, one thing I can say, Americans are masters in marketing. They don't have sorry to say this, but smaller things like the beauty of MP, there are so many beautiful historical things, historic forts, palaces, castles, which are lying in ruins. And we keep thinking that in the US, when we go to when we go and visit a touristy spot, the way they market even a very insignificant kind of a thing is amazing, which we need to learn from them. And that is the kind of potential which we have back in India. We have so many amazing things. We have so many beautiful areas which we can all venture into. It's all about executing, marketing, branding, and taking it out quickly. So glad, honored to be part of this. Look forward to collaborating more and bouncing off some ideas of how we can incorporate and work towards, partnering with you and helping you in this overall mission. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Rahul, we can't hear you.
Mr. Santosh, yeah, please.
Yeah, so मैंने पहले ही बताया कि पर अब मैं दूसरी चीज बोलना चाहूंगा कि we have like 3 types of दान, like श्रम दान, समय दान और वित्त दान. I think we are all ready for all these three things. पर जो यहाँ हैं लोग, उनसे तो थोड़ा सा ही कंट्रीब्यूशन ले पाएंगे. पर जो वहाँ है लोग, आपने जैसे बोला कि सेल्फ गवर्नेंस, आपने बोला enabling the governance from inside out, right? वो बहुत सारे लोग हैं वहाँ पर, बहुत सारे यूथ है वहाँ पर जिनको अपॉर्चुनिटी चाहिए, जिनको मीन्स चाहिए कि वो कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाए. दे आर रेडी टू कंट्रीब्यूट, दे आर लुकिंग फॉर द चैनल्स. हम what we can do sitting over here in NRI sector and Indian diaspora, we can create those channels, we can create those systems, and we can create those methods to energize those and utilize that energy which is sitting inside India, like, and harness that to improve India from inside out. हम तो भगोड़िए हो गए हैं, पर हो सकता है कुछ हेल्प कर पाए.
नहीं, आप बिल्कुल भगोड़िए नहीं हुए हैं. आपकी आत्मा यहाँ विराजित है और हम आपकी उस आत्मा, आपकी भावना का सम्मान करते हैं और हम निश्चित तौर पर कामयाब होंगे. तो now I will be recapitulating whatever has been said by you. You have talked about all three dhan. You talked about whatever is doable, whether it is in terms of the finance, whether it's in terms of the technology, whether in terms of the hiring resources. Since in India, not many people are already working, we can really engage you and we can put you also as a mentor over there. You can even hire that eligible resources, and then you can put them on for the 24-hour kind of service to the crime-free Bharat, so that within 3 months we can create first few versions. So for many things we have already created, because we were working for more than a year with 54 universities, and a number of things have been created. Few of them, they are not really in a good shape. They can be, with a little effort, they can be converted into the higher versions, and those will be deployable version. And it will be, since it is having the 5 revenue stream, hence nobody would be in position to really ignore it, because that is going to increase their per capita income minimum by 3 times. It may be more than that. And basically, we very strongly feel that talking of the international competitiveness is not really the requirement. Rather, we can have a kind of a niche profit, because if we are sending Sanjeevani should be sold as a Sanjeevani. It cannot be sent just like any Tom Dick and thing. So unique thing. That present culture of creating the genetic modification, present culture of taking the things and trying to grow everywhere, things protecting in the cold chain and then using in off season. My friend, God has created things which are the best suited for that particular season. Let's not use the technology in distorting God's desire, because then you are moving against the cosmic design, you are moving against the nature, and nature will punish us. So if anything is cultivated traditionally in particular area, there's a lot of wisdom, Vedic wisdom, which is residing over there. We will bring that wisdom back. We will bring the Vedic technology, we will bring and integrate it with the new technology, and we will not be creating awareness. Now we will put it as a products and services through startup. So all kind of the knowledge will be transferred to the startup. All kind of the technology, all kind of the processes, all kind of the gadgets, they will be given to the startup, and startup would be providing door-to-door services. And this startup would be the different startup. So CFB startup would be different than general startup. In general startup, you have to come out with a concept. You have to make your own project report. You have to run for the clearances. You have to go for arranging the finance. You have to look for the taxation. You have to look for the audit. You have to look for the marketing. And the biggest link will decide the fate of your startup. So the crime-free Bharat is providing the ecosystem to startup. That's why we are having our taxation committee, we are having our finance committee, we are having our legal committee, we are having our patent and intellectual property right committee. And this is also we are converting into the say a technological app-based kind of system. So doing or getting patents will become much easier. And we will be going for the lot of R&D and research work for crime-free Bharat as per the already the pathways which we have already envisaged. Here I would like to confess one thing before my friend. I would not like to take credit for crime-free Bharat. It is not my idea. It is some cosmic download which is coming every night to me. I am just trying to convert that cosmic download in a concrete format. So I feel at best I may be treated as an agent. Probably Cosmos is having the design to make it happen. I think our meeting is also part of that cosmic design only, that we are talking on this subject. We are talking so emphatically. We are talking with so much of energy. We are talking with so much concern and so much dedication. It is also somewhere that cosmic energy which is uniting this kind of the forces. So I feel that cosmic vision, cosmic pathways which has been coming to my mind, they should be implemented with the similar degree of purity. Even I know the very minute intricacy with which those need to be created. That's why when I am talking to my friends, when I am really elaborating on various concepts, I say I will not compromise with the vision consistency. So now my few prayers I will be making to my friends. Number one, quickly increase our strength. So the people, those who you feel they are having the similar kind of the mindset, they may be made part of the group. Later on, they will be transferred to our own crime-free Bharat chatbot. You people can say the moment we will be launching our app and portal, it might take at the most 1 month, though we are trying to do it within a week or so, but I am not very sure. So whatever time it would be taking, then you people can also convey your cognizable offenses to us, and we will take it to the hierarchy as our information as a citizen under section 39C, and we will compel functionary to do their job, including the SHO under 154.1, SP under 154.3, Code under 156.3, and High Court under section 482, and Supreme Court as a contempt petition or PIL. But we will make it sure that if you are right, if you have not exaggerated, if you have not fabricated, it must get converted into a proper, legally acceptable FIR. We will start giving them the investigation lead based on my experience. Our technological team will try to capture as much possible from the complainant and other witnesses, and probably we would be in position to provide that kind of the investigative support to the police, which is beyond their scanner, is beyond their radar. So I pray that number one, you please collect all friends, make a list of them, try to bring them, have a weekly kind of a conference at your level, discuss out what you can do, how you can do. whenever you will request me, I will be the part of one of your guests with you. I would like to resolve if there are any queries. And I will request you that if you are from technical field and if you are having the NIST skill, please send your resume. I will give you the responsibility for mentoring, and we will try to create the technology. We will try to create gadgets, and that too within 3 to 6 months, not later than a year. We need not to have the rocket science. A sheer common sense is good enough to function when 137 crore people's eyes and brain will be working through the technology, through the app, when experts would be integrated on the real-time basis. We intend to even redesign the forensic, convert it into the mass scale system, and bringing the greater degree of transparency by using QR codes, by using that lot of processes where doing hanky-panky would not be an option. Once I approached my friend, he's my batchmate. Now he's a state election commissioner. So when he just took over as a state election commissioner, I approached him that I have developed a QR-based system where even when your machines are susceptible, nobody would be in position to exploit susceptibility. Just on the strength of chain of custody, we can know where your voting machine is moving, at what speed it's moving, in whose hand it is. And if any manipulation, anything has been done, the person can be isolated, identified, and could be prosecuted. So my friend said, Maithili, yaar, puri naukri nikal gayi hai. I am really fed up now. I want to relax and enjoy. I said, okay, fine. Now, we cannot afford to really relax and enjoy. A time has come that for the nation, we will not sleep. We will continuously putting our efforts and will try to make it happen. With your support, I am very sure very soon we will be making it as a working model, and I'm very sure our honorable Prime Minister and Home Minister, I sincerely time and again appeal to them that invite us. We will give you the full-fledged presentation. I am the majority of the officers, those who are working with the crime-free Bharat, majority of them, they are the ex-bureaucrats, they are army men, they are air force men, they are navy men, they are scientists. Majority of them, somewhere they are connected with the government system. I think they should repose a greater faith in us and allow us to change the face and fate of our nation. A time has come that India is going to have its glory, its Vedic prominence, and that will be experienced, and the whole globe will be benefited by it. So let's not compete for it. Let's collaborate for and make a better world to live in. Indian believe Vasundhara Kutumbam. हम तो पूरे विश्व को ही अपना परिवार मानते हैं. And we very strongly believe Aham Brahmasmi. So each human being is having the potential to get converted into God. हम सब में ईश्वरीय तत्व विद्यमान है, और हम सब लोग यदि अपने आप पे वर्क करें तो we can become God. That is that Indian philosophy says. So a time has come. Let the whole world should be benefited with this philosophy. So let's not compete. A time has come to collaborate to make this world a better place to live. Let there be more human values. Let's not. Nothing is there in this materialism. Nothing is there in this capitalism. I am very sure we have not taken worth to earn these so-called money. The money is having no relevance. When we will die, we have not developed the technology to take this money there. And Mr. Modi has already demonstrated by demonetization, this money is not having any value here itself, right? So I think a time has come that let's really transfer this message across the globe. All like-minded people should join hands and make it happen. So a last few words from three of you. That is more towards the Indian diaspora, to NRIs, to the citizen in the country. what you felt, how are you feeling, and whether we would be in position to do it within a time frame which I am saying, can we do it within something within 3 months, something within 6 months, and everything within 1 year.
Santosh, go for it.
So yes, we are soldiers on the ground. We are going to help you out. That's what I will say. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, आपका number one, I would say, मैथिली जी, आपका passion देख के, I mean, I'm super impressed. हम लोग सब में energy आ गई आपका passion देख के, and the way आपने mention किया कि आपका cosmic download जो आपको आता है, हम लोग में भी थोड़ा सा energy आ जाए और you know, mission towards accomplishing something. So जय हिंद, जय भारत. We are your foot soldiers, and जरूर जरूर इसको जरूर successful बनाएंगे हम लोग आगे.
Yeah, same here actually. I'm super impressed with your passion, with your vision, and we all want to see India crime free and want to see India in the rightful place. India is not what we were told, like India is a poor country. By any means, India is not a poor country. It was made poor first by Britishers and successive governments. Actually, they actually glorified poverty in India. Our time is to to regain India's in the world. India has a lot of potential in every aspect. We are blessed with all kind of resources. We are blessed with best human resources in the world, and weather. I think one of the best weather in the world. And still we are considered third world country, so it's very painful to see that. But I think with the right government in the center, and people are now coming forward with their ideas and with their passion for the country, and I am with you in this journey uh, with my वो कहते हैं ना by karma, by क्या कहते हैं अभी संतोष जी ने बताया था by earth or by everything requires actually we are with this, and as Avjit said, like your passion actually infused a lot of energy, a lot of passion in us also. So thank you for creating this platform and giving us opportunity.
So thank you very much for really sparing your valuable time. Thank you very much for giving the consent to be part of the CFB. We will take it across the globe, and simultaneously we will be working on technology, we will be working on law, we will be working on creating the support system. So no government would dare to ignore it. Now, please mind my words. Government can dare to ignore it on its own peril, because it is the democracy. No government should work for which is not good for the nation. So with these words, we will be now more intricately connected. I am very sure you people will be conducting at least one weekly discourse within your group. As and when you will make a request, I will try to join and we will be with you. And we will try to maintain this connectivity. I expect the resume of yours, and that's the technical resume. So we will be assigning you the mentoring job. With your consent, we may hire few resources over here, because if they will get a little stipend kind of the thing, they will be too happy to contribute, because many of them, they are the people with the empty stomach. और हमारे उसमें कहा गया है कि खाली भजन और भूखे भजन ना होए गोपाला, जाधरी कंठी जाधरी माला. So when you are empty stomach, I think nothing could be done. So that students, those who are working with the great passion with us, many of them really need a little bit of the financial support also. And the moment we can give that kind of the financial support, as a DG Police Reform, I took with the BPRD and I took with the government of Madhya Pradesh, and we floated 12 Smart India Hackathon statement, and they were intended for the crime-free Bharat. And the output which has been created by our students is mind-blowing. The kind of the technology they have designed, the kind of the software they have designed, it is out of the box, out of the blue. And I am very sure. And what we have given just 1 lakh rupees per statement as a money. So crime-free Bharat can also conduct Smart India Hackathon. We can have the 20 or 50 odds things, and we can even give that 1 lakh rupee reward money, which will be contributed by us, and we will be in position to give that kind of the money, and we would be in position to even give some kind of the stipend to our men, our students, so they can work with the greater energy, and their minor financial requirement can also be taken care of. If that is done, probably they will be more than happy. With these words, I once again very sincerely would like to express thanks to you for really sparing your valuable time. I understand it is a Monday, it is a working day for you. Still, you dedicated your 2 hours of working day time, and probably Sanjeev has taken leave, and probably both of you might have also taken leave, and so you have taken the leave for this cause. I deeply appreciate your this gesture, and as everything has to be concluded, so we have already talking to for almost 2 hours. So a time when we have to say bye bye to this session, and I would like to convey
Okay.
thanks. And finally, I would like to say Jai Hind and Jai Bharat. हम होंगे
Jai Hind.
कामयाब एक दिन.
Yeah.
Jarur.
Jai Hind.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
How to disconnect?